Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland BROWNS. Let's get to the news. Now guys, if you follow the NFL, if you're really into the Browns, you already know that this offseason has been anything but ordinary. The NFL landscape is constantly shifting, but the AFC North, in particular, has been buzzing with rumors, speculations, and strategic moves that could redefine the division's balance of power. And right now, one of the most intriguing stories is not about a new draft pick or a blockbuster trade, but about a veteran player whose future might just be tied to the Cleveland Browns in a way that could energize the team's outlook for the upcoming season. That player is none other than Max Pacioretty. Yes, the same Max Pacioretty who made waves in the NHL with the Montreal Canadiens, and who, interestingly enough, has been linked to a potential return to Montreal by analysts. But here's the thing, this story, though rooted in hockey, sheds light on a broader concept of veteran leadership, experience, and the strategic moves that NFL teams like Cleveland are always considering to get over the hump and make that final push toward the Super Bowl. Now, you might be wondering, what does a hockey player have to do with the Browns? Well, it's about the principle about how teams, whether in hockey or football, value seasoned veterans who can bring leadership, stability, and a spark of experience to a young core. And Cleveland, folks, is loaded with young talent. Browns fans know this better than anyone. They have, over the past few seasons, built a roster that's brimming with potential, with players like Myles Garrett, who's already established as one of the premier pass rushers in the league, and a young secondary that's eager to prove itself. But what they still need, what many experts say could be the difference maker, is that veteran presence, that guy who's been through the battles, who knows how to handle the pressure, and who can mentor the younger guys when the stakes are high. And that's where a player like Pacioretty, even if he's from a different sport, becomes a symbol of that veteran leadership that Cleveland has been craving. Pacioretty, who spent a decade with the Canadiens and served as their captain for 3 seasons, is now a free agent after last season with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And even though he's 36 years old, yeah, not exactly a spring chicken, he's still got something to offer, especially in terms of playoff experience and leadership. Last season, he scored 13 points in 37 games with Toronto, and in the playoffs, he added another 8 points in 11 games. That's not just numbers, that's a guy who still knows how to perform when it matters most. For the Browns, a team that's been building a younger roster, adding someone like Pacioretty could be that missing puzzle piece, a seasoned veteran who can step in during crucial moments and lift everyone around him. But let's be honest, there are questions. Pacioretty isn't what he used to be physically. He's no longer a full-time player, and that's a fact acknowledged by analysts and by Pacioretty himself. He's been more of a part-time contributor over the last couple of seasons, which might limit his role on a team. Still, the value of leadership and experience isn't just about how many points he scores. It's about what he brings in the locker room, in the huddle, and on the sidelines. Cleveland has a lot of young talent that's eager to learn, and having a veteran who's been through the grind, who's captained a team, and who has faced playoff pressure could be priceless for the Browns' locker room culture. Now, why am I talking about hockey and Pacioretty when we're supposed to be focusing on the Browns? Because it's about the broader NFL strategy. Cleveland has been aggressive in free agency and the draft, trying to find the right pieces to complement their core. They've added players on both sides of the ball, but what they often lack is that veteran savvy, someone who's been in the trenches, who can help guide the younger players through the highs and lows of an NFL season. That's exactly the kind of impact a player like Pacioretty could have, even if he's not a full-time starter. Remember, the Browns have already shown that they're willing to make bold moves, and adding a veteran presence in key positions can be the catalyst for turning a good team into a great one. But here's a crucial point. Pacioretty himself has expressed uncertainty about returning to play another season in the NHL. After his stint with Toronto, He admitted that being away from his family made it a tough year, and he's currently considering his next move. That's a major detail because it means he's at a crossroads, much like many NFL veterans who contemplate whether to keep playing or call it a career. And for Cleveland, the opportunity to bring in a guy who's still competitive, still has the desire to contribute, and who understands what it takes to succeed at the highest level could be an excellent strategic move. And speaking of history, Pacioretty's time with the Canadiens was marked by leadership and dedication. He spent 10 years in Montreal, serving as captain for 3 seasons, and played in 626 regular season games. That kind of experience, that kind of leadership, is something that any NFL team, especially one with championship aspirations like Cleveland, would value highly. He's just 61 games shy of hitting the 1-0 milestone in his NHL career, a testament to his durability and commitment. It's that kind of perseverance, something NFL teams admire greatly, that could make him a perfect fit for Cleveland's locker room. Now, let's not forget the financial side. Analysts project that Pacioretty might sign another 1-year deal, around $800, which is quite reasonable considering his experience and the potential impact he could have. For Cleveland, a team that's always looking for value in free agency, that's a smart gamble, adding veteran leadership without breaking the bank. Think about what that means for the locker room, for the younger players like Denzel Ward, or even some of the new additions on offense. They need someone to look up to emulate, to guide them through the tough moments, especially as they aim to get back to the playoffs and ultimately make a serious Super Bowl run. Now, what does this all mean for the Browns' upcoming season? Well, it's about balance. Cleveland's roster is talented, but talent alone isn't enough. Leadership and experience are critical components of a championship team. If Pacioretty does decide to come to Cleveland, even in a limited role, he could become that veteran presence that pushes the team to the next level. It's about creating a culture of winning, resilience, and accountability, something that Cleveland has been building for years, but still needs that final piece to make everything click. And let's talk about the division for a moment. The AFC North is arguably the most competitive division in the NFL right now. The Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers all have their own strengths, and the Browns need every edge they can get. Adding a veteran like Pacioretty, who can provide leadership and playoff experience, could be the difference in those tight division games that often determine playoff seeding. It's about making sure Cleveland is not just competitive, but dominant, and that they can withstand the pressure of a grueling NFL schedule. Now, I want to highlight again that this is all about strategic moves, about understanding that sometimes the right veteran can change the dynamics of a team. Cleveland has shown that they're not afraid to take risks and make bold choices, whether it's through smart draft picks or shrewd free agent signings. Bringing in someone like Pacioretty, even if he's not in the prime of his career, fits perfectly within that philosophy. It's about building a team that's not just talented on paper, but also mentally tough, resilient, and ready to fight for that Super Bowl. And with the right veteran in the locker room, the Browns could very well find themselves in that position come January. Now, as we wrap up, I want to emphasize that Cleveland fans should keep a close eye on this situation. The offseason is still young, and the signs point to Cleveland exploring every opportunity to improve, to add those final pieces that make the difference. You, as a Browns fan, know better than anyone that success isn't just about having the best players. It's about having the right mix of youth and experience, talent and leadership. And if Pacioretty does end up in Cleveland, it could be one of those moves that sparks a new era of greatness for the team. So stay tuned, keep supporting your Browns, and don't forget, this is just the beginning. Big things are happening in the AFC North, and Cleveland is right in the thick of it. Whether it's on the field, in the front office, or in free agency, the Browns are always looking for ways to elevate their game. And that's what makes being a Browns fan so exciting, knowing that every season is a new opportunity to rise, to overcome.